in addition to the grill, and you can make some wonderful meals, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to get started with kind of a take on a blending of the smash burger, which I love, and a patty melt, which I love. So we're going to get started on that. Now, I have the grill hot. Very, very important that your grill is hot. You want to let it warm up. This particular one heats up very, very quickly, but you want to make sure that your grill is hot before you start. I have here just some ground chuck because that's what I like for burgers. I don't like a really, really lean beef for burgers. I think that it's just too dry. This particular blend is ground chuck. I'm going to just add some salt and pepper. That's it. I'm going to just kind of mix that up. Not, you know, too much so, but enough. Then all you want to do first is think about how many burger patties you want. You want them all to be about the same. And then make just a little bit bigger than golf ball, I guess. You know, about this. Just make sure they're all the same size. Because we're actually going to smash these on our grill, and I'll show you how in just a minute. You just want to get all your patties kind of the same size first. You can add in some other spice blends if you want. A lot of people like that, like the steak seasoning, Montreal steak seasoning or something like that. But I really just kind of like my burgers plain. If I want a burger, I just want a burger. If I want a flavored something, I'll have a meatloaf. So, you know, just you do whatever you like. I think that's gonna be perfect. All right, now there's a little couple things we need to do on our grill before we start. And that is, let's go over here. Now, my grill is hot and it is seasoned, but you still want to add some oil and kind of spread that around. Okay, make sure anytime you're cooking on one of these that you do have an apron on because they do make a mess. And you want to put your patties on there, a little bit of distance apart, or you're not your patties, but your hamburgers. All right. And you can either use, let me take these off. You can either use 2 spatulas like this and smash them down as hard as you can. Now, you know, normally we don't press burgers. However, I want these flat and I want them thin because I like that crispy edge, which is what is great about a smash burger. Or if you have one of these, which I totally recommend for many uses, you can use one of these. Either way will work. Now what you're doing is you're flattening that out and you are getting that hamburger patty in great contact with that grill so that we get that crispy coating that we so want. Let those go. I'm going to cut that down just a little bit because this grill is hot. Let those go for just a minute. And then on the patty melt, we're going to cook our entire meal on that grill. I want some onions and mushrooms, but you use what you like. Onions and peppers are delicious. Just onions are delicious. You use whatever you like. Oh, look at that sizzle. That looks so good. We're going to make a hibachi on the next program, which I made the other night at home, and let me tell you, it was so good. Just a chicken hibachi meal. It was delicious. We're going to do that one too on the next program, not on this one. Today we're making, I don't even know if I told you, we're making patty melts, smash burger patty melts. We're going to have a street corn, Mexican street corn, to go alongside it. It's going to be so good. Okay, let's get our onions on our grill. On another little part, add some oil. And then add your onions, let them go. Just let them kind of saute a little bit. Let's check our burgers. Because these are so thin, they don't take very long. You see that crispy edge? That's what you want. Now, the more you use your griddle, the better seasoned it will become. Mine at home is slick as a ribbon. This one is a little newer, so it's not quite as slick as mine. Still great, though. These are much like cast iron. I have my grandmother's cast iron skillet. And that thing is old. I mean old. It's probably, oh, I don't know. She's been gone since 1977. So I don't know. I mean, I'd say it's at least 100 years old, if not pretty darn close to it. Now I'm gonna add some mushrooms. Just sliced them up. These have been washed. These don't take as long to cook. So we don't wanna, you don't wanna overdo them. Now I'm making patty melts, but if you don't want to make patty melts and you just wanna do smash burgers, you can do that. Same type of recipe. I love a patty melt. I think a lot of the diner food has just kind of gone by the wayside, and I think they're delicious. Okay, just slice these up. You can use any kind of mushroom you like, the white buttons. These are baby portobellos, but you can use whatever you like. If you don't like mushrooms, leave them off. Up to you. Now, those patties don't take very long to cook because they are so thin. Okay. Alrighty, keeping an eye on them. They're sounding wonderful. You can cook an entire breakfast on these griddles. They really are a handy little thing. They come in all different sizes. Some I've seen them big, I've seen them little, tabletop. My butter is hot. I am gonna add a little bit of butter to those onions because I want that flavor. Let's do this particular one has a little magnetic bar there. Oh yes, look how good that looks. Okay, turn it down just a little bit. And I want to add in the mushrooms. They don't take very long at all to cook. Let's add some salt and pepper to this because remember, we have not seasoned anything up. Okay, just kind of let those go. Okay, check our burgers. They're probably about ready, but I'm gonna just kind of make some room. Now that I've got them smashed out, I can make a little more room on my grill and let these go. If you have a grill like this, another little tool that you're gonna wanna have is something like this, or where did my other one go? Over here, yeah. Or this, something that you can scrape up the food bits with. I like this one because I can get some leverage on it. Okay. Alrighty. Let that go. Check our mushrooms. and onions. Oh, doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look good? All right, I'm gonna take a fast little break. And when I come back, we're gonna get our corn ready to go onto our griddle. And we're also gonna make some hash browns to go with our patty melts. Remember, kind of doing that diner throwback sort of thing. So I'll be back in just a minute. Now we are gonna make a corn, a street corn, a Mexican street corn. And excuse me, you've seen me do this before, but if you missed it, the best way to cut corn off the cob is to put it in a bundt pan. If you don't have a bundt pan, just put a bowl upside down in a big bowl. But when you do this, the kernels just go right down into the bowl. I have 4 ears of corn here, but you use, as much as you need. If you don't have fresh corn, you can use frozen. Just thaw it first, or you could use canned. Whatever you have. Since we're cutting it off the cob, real street corn would be on the cob, so you would need fresh, obviously, or some frozen. Comes on the cob, but we're doing this. All right, little bit more fat, not much, because we've got a lot on there. And we're gonna add our corn. Okay, add some butter, which mine has melted rather nicely, to be honest with you, and salt and pepper for a moment. Now, this particular recipe does have bacon in it, so I have here some bacon. For ease of doing it, I'm actually just going to use the strips. And then, where's my little cover? Right here. Your corn will pop. It's nice to have a little cover to keep it from popping on you. Rice will do that too. That's okay. Do you know you can make popcorn on one of these, with one of these? Kind of cool. All right, let's check that corn. You see how it just gets that black charring? That's exactly what you want. Get over there, bacon. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna let this go. I'm gonna get my burgers off because they're ready. I'm just gonna put them in a pan for the moment. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Smell-o-vision. I'm telling you. You will want to clean up your charred bits. Keep this handy while you're cooking. All right. Our mushrooms are done, so let's get them off. I had some little bowls here. Let's get the mushrooms off. I don't want them to overcook. We'll flip our bacon. Okay, we'll We'll just let that hang out there for a minute. Flip our bacon. Woo. My corn is popping. Okay. This cook. You know, and the more you cook on this, obviously it's seasoning it. This fat is getting down in there. Much like your cast iron, the more you cook on it, the better it gets. Let's move that down to the low part, because that's pretty much done. For my corn, I want to add a little bit of onion, not too much, just a little bit. I have some spring onions, so I'm going to use these, but if you don't have the spring onion, you could use just a regular onion. You don't want too much. If you don't have either one, you could use powdered, powdered onion would be fine. I hear it popping. Okay. I like these little disposable cutting mats when I'm outside. I just find it a little easier to work with outside. Okay. Now, I think our corn is about done. Oh, look how good that looks. Yummy, yummy. Mix in your onion. We want that to cook a little bit. Fresh corn does not take that long to cook. If you want to spread it out a little bit so it can get that charring on more corn, go for it. Okay, the bacon is done. Mushroom overboard. Okay, the corn is pretty well done. Let's get our bacon off. And we will chop the bacon. Let it cool just a little bit. Another thing you're gonna need is some Texas toast. Now, I just bought, the bread that is sold as Texas toast. It's just a thicker sliced bread, because we're actually gonna toast the bread on the griddle. And to flavor up our corn, you're gonna need a spice called tagine. I like the classic. You can find this everywhere. I mean, Walmart sells it. Of course, Amazon has it. Grocery stores have it. It's just a Mexican spice blend. This particular one has a little bit of lime and a little bit of garlic in it. Let's see what all's in here. Well, yeah, chili. It's got a little heat to it. Dehydrated lime, little bit of salt. It's really good on corn. So put that in there. That just flavors it up. It's delicious. And then, of course, I want some fresh lime, because I think fresh citrus elevates everything. In this particular dish, I want lime. We're just going to squeeze it right on it. Mmm. Smells so good. Just one lime. Stir that all together. Get those seasonings mixed in there. Corn's done. A little bit more oil. And put your toast down. And just let it get all good and toasty on the grill. Just takes a minute. We're gonna let's get this cut up first. We're also gonna make some hash browns. Now, you can shred your own fresh potatoes if you want to. I don't have time to do that today, but if you wanted to, you could. If you're gonna use your fresh, make sure that you squeeze out any excess of the liquid. All right, let's get our corn out because that's done. Put it in your serving bowl. We'll clean up our serving bowl. It's a little hard to do this one-handed, but that's okay. We got it. I'll clean that up just a second. Add your bacon in there. A little bit of butter if you want it. And you've got a delicious street corn, but it's not done yet. There it is, my cheese. Normally I would shred fresh Parmesan on here, but I just bought the pre-grated stuff today. You could also use Jotica cheese, the Mexican crumbling cheese. Whatever you want will work. And you've got delicious, easy to cook Mexican street corn for your patty melts. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna turn my bread. When I come back, we will get the hash browns made and serve this up. I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, now I took the bread off. My butter is totally melted. And I just bought some of the refrigerated hash browns. But you can use whatever you have. If you want to use fresh, use fresh. On this particular application, I don't really like the frozen, but if that is what you have, you use what you have. These just take a minute to cook. I like to lay them out flat and let them go. Now, to make this, what you want to do is take one, well, you know, I'll just demonstrate on one. Put your patty melt on your griddle, your patty rather, and I'm just using some sliced Swiss cheese, which is traditional. Lay that on there just to kind of let it melt. Let me get my other little platter here. It just takes it a second. Put one of your pieces of your toast down. When that gets melted, you can either put your mushrooms and onions underneath or over top, whatever you want to do. Put some of your onions and your pepper or your onions and your mushrooms. And then grab your patty, put that on top, and you have a delicious, delicious little patty melt. You could, of course, top it with another one if you wanted to eat it as a hamburger, or if you wanted to, you could, you know, just make it as a hamburger. I'm gonna put a little bit of my corn on there. Yum, a slice of watermelon would be delicious with this. Our hash browns. Get that turned up a little bit. They're just gonna get golden brown. Now, one little hint that I will tell you, when it comes cleanup time, do it while this thing is hot. It is so much easier. There's a reason why when you go to a Japanese restaurant, they clean that grill immediately after cooking while it's hot, because that way it is easier to get the food that's inevitably gonna stick. All right, so just let your hash browns get as golden as you like. I'm probably the only human being on planet Earth that prefers my hash browns to not have that crispy crust. I don't know why. I like them just to be kind of soft. But you do what you like. I'm gonna satisfy myself. That's one advantage of being the cook. and then put that over there. I would top that with some ketchup, but you top it with whatever you like. And there you go. A quick and easy meal that you could make the entire thing on top of your griddle. I would serve that maybe with a slice of watermelon or maybe some ice cream inside where it's not so hot. But there's an easy, quick, we've got a hybrid of the smash burgers with a patty melt. So we did a smash burger patty melt. Our delicious street corn with bacon and onion, and I used grated Parmesan, but you could use the Jotica cheese, the Mexican crumbling cheese, and delicious hash browns the way that I like them. Absolutely wonderful, easy to cook any day of the week. Let me know if you have a stone, a black stone, or any type of a griddle pan. What are some of your favorite meals? Let me know. We have quite a big group there on Facebook that we interact quite a bit. I try to answer questions if I can. It's a little hard sometimes, but anyway, let me know what you're cooking on your flat top griddle. Thank you for joining with me, and I will see you next time on Everyday Manna. Everybody, we have a brand new Everyday Manna cookbook for you. It's Everyday Manna's Southern Style 180 brand new recipes. All the things that you would find if you are fortunate enough to eat or live in the South. Southern style recipes from my kitchen to yours, easy to do, things that you can make any day of the week, like a peanut butter sheet cake topped with homemade peanut butter dressing, potato soup, chicken and rice casserole, a sour cream